I look at this as information learned and using it in a way where we get to build something, but being practical, being hardworking, right? Now, this makes sense to me with the way that you're coming in and the way that they're coming in. This is, being disappointed and let down over the fact that they want to be alone. And that's reinforced by the hermit underneath that. I think you may be dealing with somebody here who is like saying to you, look, I need to find my independence. But for you, it may have been taken in a very different way because, clearly we're talking about emotional pain and being upset, being let down. I always look at that one as like being on the island surrounded by those difficult emotions. Now, they move into this place though where they're not necessarily wanting to be involved with you, but it's because they need to figure some things out. And I do think that they are like isolating themselves and they're not giving you a whole lot of answers either. You showing the Queen of Wands, whether they're male or female, fire sign, doesn't matter. I think that for a lot of you, this may be the way that not only are you looking at this person, but what you are trying to show them. I'm okay. I can manage this. I'm doing all right, right? Like, I see that there are other options available to me. It's not that big of a deal, but the truth is it is. But you also may be looking at them as they're getting so much attention from other people that maybe they don't want to be involved because of that. Like almost like wanting to keep their options open, if that makes sense. So then you move into this place of the Magician, where I think that there's going to be some point where you feel like maybe you can make something happen again. And I think that that is at least somewhat true, but I don't like how you move into the Three of Swords. Now, with the Page of Swords, I've always had issues with this card. This little bastard drives me fucking nuts. Because to me, it is not full disclosure. It is not full disclosure. You're talking about somebody who doesn't know how to process the information that's been handed to them. And you're also talking about somebody who isn't exactly giving you the full truth. I always question that with the Page of Swords. Never with the Knight, only with the Page. There are some things, though, that I think are being said that I think are going to come out in a way that is going to be painful for you. And I'm just being honest with the way that this is coming out. And I don't believe that they were trying to be sneaky or deceptive about any of it, but I don't think that they wanted that information out there anyway. Because you're also talking about dealing with an instigator. Now, the thing is, though, with the Magician, I'm old school when it comes to the Magician. I don't necessarily feel like we're talking about somebody who is trying to cast an illusion. Because if that were the case, the moon would show up for me. And that's just how I see it. For me, the Magician is showing whether or not you feel like there is an opportunity to, take advantage of or create something out of, right? Because the Magician ruling the aces, like I've always said, aces are great, but they don't mean a damn thing if you're not going to do anything with them. The Magician is showing that ability that you have to make the most out of new opportunities. Do you feel like you can create something out of this mess? And that's what I feel like this is for them. It's a mess in their life. And that Page of Swords is a huge indicator. Now, and even more so, the goddamn Tower being right in between the middle of you. But then again, when you go back to the traditional meaning of the Tower, we're talking about things that can no longer withstand. It has to come down. There's a reason why it's being struck down, because it's fake, it's false. So this may be, the drastic sudden change that somebody makes here. And with the Fool, I think that, especially considering that it's landing on their side, they may decide to just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and see what happens. But the thing is you're heartbroken though. But are you trying to get past that? Or did you believe at some point, because of what was spoken to you, that, you could create something out of this situation? Like I said, yeah. And there's your ace. There's the new beginning there. All right. Let's start from the beginning here. So the first thing that you're showing is the Five of Swords. Now, I don't believe for 1 minute that that's you or that that's what you're responding to, but I think that you're getting pulled into a conflict that is not what you wanted to be a part of. And I do believe that we're talking about, an instigator here that may be kind of causing problems. The thing is, though, is that I think that the person that you're dealing with here may believe that, by leaping into things with you, that they can fix this and heal the situation with the star being there. Okay. So it's like, I'm sorry that you had to deal with this, that you had to deal with, this kind of like presence around me, and having to deal with, people talking whatever, putting information out there that may not exactly be true, considering that we're looking at the Five of Swords, but nevertheless, it's still heartbreaking to you, because I do believe that there is at least some truth behind it. The problem is that this is not something that you wanted to be involved with, right? So now let's heal, let's fix the situation. The way to do that is by, jumping headfirst into getting things going, okay? So then, you move into this place with the Ten of Cups, where I think for you, you want to at least believe that there is going to be, some overall happiness with this person. And you may be very well finding out that, the information that was brought to you or things that were being said about this person weren't exactly, the truth. It was just, somebody who was looking to cause problems, because I think that this is what this is about. While you are trying to get things going here and trying to move the relationship into a better place, you have these things that are kind of like being said, right? It's not like the High Priestess coming out, but like, intentional. It's intentional. But I look at the Seven of Pentacles, though, and I think that, especially for them, they're looking at all the pain and suffering that's been caused. And I think that they do definitely want to heal the situation. I do believe that they think that there is a way forward here. They do, notice, though, that it is going to be more pain and hard work in getting back to, where your relationship is back on track and you start to head toward that, ultimate 10, right? But I think that that is what makes you happy, is that they're reevaluating things. And I think they're doing it from an honest place. So it's not like they just, even though I think they believe that if I just leap into this, it'll heal everything, I do also think that they're, reevaluating everything and taking everything into consideration. Especially if there is like things being said about, this person's past, something that they may have done when they were separated from you, things like that. So then you move into the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles, and I like it. I do. I like it. This, I feel like, in terms of you, is you being caring, giving, nurturing, despite the fact that you may be really heartbroken over, the kind of things that you were drug into that have to do with them. So I see this as a better thing. I don't actually see this as like an outside female, things like that. I don't think that it has to do with, you dealing with another female. But the heartbreak may actually be, if you, like, for instance, are the female here, it may be, I messed up and now I'm pregnant, which can be the case because of the Empress showing up. But there's still something good coming out of all of this. The thing is that you're going to be feeling the heartbreak more than, the other person, right? Now, if you're the male Cancer, for example, you may be dealing with somebody that kind of like got caught up in maybe, ended up pregnant. And I usually don't feel that, but she's interesting to me considering that we're looking at the Five of Swords with the Ten of Cups in between it. But that's not obviously going to be for everybody here. But the thing is that I think that despite the fact that you may be heartbroken over, the battle that you've had to go through because of an instigator, I do think that the Empress is kind of representing your ability to forgive almost, And with the Ace of Pentacles, like I said, and with the Fool, they're all about it. Yeah, it's time for that new beginning. It's time for me to stop hesitating. It's time for me to stop backing off. But it's a drastic change because drastic things are happening. It's just different on each side of it, but it's equal in the way that you're perceiving it, being the Tower, if that makes sense. Now, I almost look at this and I believe that, the reason why you're needing to kind of go out there and flirt is because you've already been like cheated on. I think that that's kind of like what's happening with the Tower. Because with the Queen of Swords, you're talking about somebody who is focused on a past partner and how they have hurt them. That's how I see her. I see that as the Three of Swords right there. Now, moving out of that into the Six of Cups. And, whether you're dealing with an air sign, male or female, doesn't matter, but you're single now because of this event. And I feel like this is you and where you're at. Because with the Six of Cups, you're looking back at, how a relationship used to be. But there's a lot of like bitterness there because of the Queen of Swords. But then with the Star, you're trying to heal that. You're trying to fix all that. You want, and I really feel like for a lot of you, you want a better relationship moving forward. But I feel like there's kind of like some hope being restored with somebody else, if that makes sense. Because I look at the Knight of Swords and yeah, it's a little bit creepy, but it's conquering. It's conquering that person, conquering that relationship. It does show control, but I look at the Chariot underneath that and I think, okay, I finally got control, or you're letting somebody else kind of conquer you, but it's like, let's give this, relationship a sense of direction. So I think that you go through a lot of like time alone. I think that you go through a lot of time being in pain. And this is, like I said, only going to be for some of you. But this is either about you or the person that you end up getting in contact with after all of this. But where is this relationship going? And then, yeah, it is something new, the Ace of Cups. But I don't see it as a bad thing. I think that the way the initial contact happens, though, isn't like the greatest. But what I would say to you, Cancer, is that if you have been single for a while and you have constantly dealt with people who have cheated on you, be careful about getting involved with somebody and immediately wanting to head this in a relationship direction, okay? And that's just, what I feel like I need to say to you here. So now with the Two of Pentacles, this is about embarrassment. This is somebody who is too embarrassed to approach another person. Okay, so while, you are kind of going through your bitterness and your pain, there may be somebody in the background that may be, wanting to get your attention, or you them. But I don't necessarily believe that it's you, because I look at you as the Six of Cups, still looking back on this past relationship, maybe possibly wanting to heal it, because you may think that it's good looking at the sun, because the sun is a good thing, right? The sun is shining on a beautiful relationship and you want to heal that, and that I feel like is what you're wanting to do. But I think that what's more important is, you kind of going through your own personal healing, considering how bitter you may have been over the fact that, there may have been another party involved, somebody may have cheated, whatever. Or you just, are continuously used to being cheated on. That, or we're talking about you dealing with a person who, is getting out of this and you're wanting to approach him. But I don't know. Like I said, I see this as you and what you've experienced. So moving out of that, though, like I said, the way that this starts, and this is a new beginning, new love, right? This is the new opportunity for love for you. The problem is where is it going? And I think what Flirt is trying to say here is that you need to, lighten up, yes. Because, the pain that you've experienced and where you feel like you may have been betrayed is not something that you should continuously focus on or think that that is the only relationship that is going to bring you any kind of life or happiness or hope or healing, I think that for you, it's don't get too seriously involved with anybody you meet after the fact, okay? And again, this is for those of you who are single, and it's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be, like I said, for those of you who have been cheated on, and probably continuously over and over and over again. But clearly somebody is wanting to approach you, but when they do, I think that it happens in a very, harsh kind of way. Like, they see an opportunity to, see you as like another notch in the belt. That's how I would describe the Knight of Swords here. But like I said, where is it going? Where is this relationship going? What direction do you think it's headed in? Don't get too caught up or too wrapped up. Now, for some of you, because you're so focused on the past, you may be trying to figure out a way to approach a past lover. But I don't think that that's who that is. I think that this is something different. Yeah, and then the Page of Swords. Okay. Let's start from the beginning here. So the Three of Pentacles, we're talking about needing more warmth. More warmth, more love, more understanding. You're needing more from a partner. And with the Knight of Wands, this is being wrapped up in the passion, getting carried away with the passion. But there is something that's, you need more of. But all the while, this relationship is just kind of burning through that passion. That's what I feel like looking at that. And then when you lead into the Ten of Swords, it would make sense. Because then it's oh my God, it's over. I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get what I needed. So I think that a lot of you, this is something you already know. Okay, this is something that you already know that you're going through. So with the Ten of Swords, again, it's being hurt that the relationship is over with. And it could be because, they're somewhere else. Now, with the Six of Wands, I look at this and I think this is because I don't necessarily feel like you're putting yourself out there immediately after that, because we're talking about a lot of pain here. So I think that the Six of Wands here is indicating that somebody's been playing games. Somebody's been playing games with you and with the relationship. And clearly they weren't intending to take this anywhere. And it bothers me because I see you needing this, but what you got was, this quick burst of passion and then done. Now, moving into the Five of Pentacles, though, here's where things, kind of get interesting. What I worry about here is that, if you feel like this was, the romance of a lifetime for you, are you not letting it go because of the Page of Swords? And I'm just saying, that's not going to be for all of you. I don't think that all of you are stalkers by any means, but it's hard to let go of, those relationships where we feel like, this was, the love of my life. But as quickly as it started, it ends. But I also worry about somebody who may have instigated this. which absolutely can be the case with the Page of Swords lurking around. So, what would otherwise be a really good relationship may be tainted by the fact that there's somebody else that wants to play these games, which can be the case. Now, that Ten of Swords may be a short interlude in this relationship. The problem is where deception is coming through. What is it that somebody is too afraid to reveal? And does it have to do with, an intermediate like break between the two of you and then being involved somewhere else? But this person, can't let it go. Okay. And I don't think that it bothers either one of you. I think that it can become a serious issue if it continues, but I think that for a lot of you right now, if you give it attention, I think it's going to make it worse. I think that that there's somebody else in the background that may be looking to, cause a problem or instigate here, so to speak. But temperance to me is like, we're okay. We're going to be okay, if that makes sense. So with the Two of Wands, right, this is getting to know each other. This is flirting. And I think that you may have thought that you knew this person, but clearly there was something else going on that, you didn't really know or didn't really understand. And deception may be indicating here that they may have been too afraid to reveal it to you. Okay. So you thought you knew them. You thought that, you guys were like literally on the same page here. This kind of has a feeling of the Two of Cups, but like really interested in each other, really getting to know each other. You think you know everything about this person. You're wrapped up in the passion and carried away, but you're needing more. This I always see as we need some more. Now, they're clearly apologizing. They're apologizing for what they did that caused the relationship to end. And it may be because, they put themselves out there for somebody that they shouldn't have. And now that person's going to become a problem. But only if you let it in this situation. But, they clearly don't want to have this relationship over with. I don't know that they knew what the hell they were doing. It's almost like I don't know what the hell came over me. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry that I did that. I was stupid, whatever. Right? Now we can flip the script on that too, but I don't know, Cancer. I feel like you're the one that experiences the really painful ending. Now, like I said with Temperance, it's like, no, we're okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to be just fine. It makes a lot more sense to me now seeing the clarifiers. But I would be careful about this sneaky little bastard. Whoever this person is, they have no right to be trying to get the attention of the other person, whether it's them trying to do that to you or to your partner. It's not right. You back off and get the hell away now, right? But I don't think that you guys are feeding into that at all. You're more concerned about building things up in your own relationship, because otherwise it's really good. But the deception to me in this case is not that they're trying to hide the fact that this person is there. I think that you all know about the situation and what's going on between the two of you and what caused the breakup to begin with. I just think that this is something that they should have revealed to you from the get-go. So I look at this as, they're no longer wearing the mask. All of that's gonna be cleared up.